Okay, so why don't you tell me about who you are and what you're working on here?
Yeah, I'm Brian Jeans. I'm the group program manager for Office Live.
Office Live.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. We get some other people here too, right?
Hi.
Who are you?
I'm Tara Brown, lead program manager on Office Live, specifically the business applications.
All right, good. And one more?
I'm David Lee. I'm a dev manager on Office Live.
All right, hey David. Good. So, Brian, we come back to you. What are we going to do today? What do you have? What are we going to look at?
Well, we want to show you the current version of Office Live, and this is the one that we have currently in beta. We're going to talk a little bit about what we're working on for the future, and then hopefully educate people on what Office Live really is.
So what is Office Live? I mean, what?
Yeah.
I get that question a lot, actually.
Well, you know, it's almost a misnomer that Office Live is the hosted version of Office, or all of a sudden it's Excel or Word in the cloud. But what it really is it's a way right now for small businesses to establish a web presence, get a website, get a domain name, get email, and then also a means for them to build applications or use existing applications. So out of the box we have a list of pre-packaged applications that allow for customer management, project management, and so forth. But for developers, what it does is it offers a platform for people to deliver custom applications targeted at small businesses.
So, like, I would be interested if I was a small business or something, right? I'd go to Office Live and what would I run with it? I mean,
For small business, I think we've got the best deal on the market today, where for free you get a domain name, you get a website.
It's like mysite.com and it goes right there.
Mysite.com, and you can customize your site.com how you want. You get a domain name, you get email accounts against that domain name, and again, we give you a free domain name where usually people charge you some number of dollars.
Cheaper than GoDaddy.
Cheaper than GoDaddy. It's the best deal on the market. And then we have tools to allow you to build the website and maintain that site.
Okay.
And for a little bit more, we add the applications and then this application platform.
So it's called Office. Do I get like some of the collaboration and stuff that I would get with Office server?
Yeah, with Office, and the reason why Office is so much a part of this, and we'll show some of the demo, is Office is really a complement to Office Live, or maybe Office Live is a complement to Office. So the applications that we have, and because we're built on top of Windows SharePoint Services, all the integration of Windows SharePoint Services that Office has, you get as part of Office Live.
So you mean, what is Windows SharePoint Services? I mean, that comes in the server, right? In the Windows Server?
Yeah, it comes in Windows Server, and Windows SharePoint Services were based on the current version today, and that ships with Windows Server.
Okay.
And we will be, in the future, when Office ships, will be based on the Windows SharePoint Services version 2007.
So I'm trying to remember, Windows SharePoint Services, what does that give me? It's like some collaboration, right, and document management?
Yeah, you know, it's both a set of apps, collaborative apps almost built into SharePoint.
Okay.
But it is also a platform. It is a platform for you to build custom list-based applications.
So I can share documents, right? I mean, we use that internally here, right?
Yeah.
At Microsoft. So I can share documents, get versioning, sign up for alerts.
That's
and
right.
That's all part
shared
of Office Live.
documents, contacts, shared calendars. They've added wikis, blogs, and then we've enhanced that even further by adding things like customer management, project management, and a few other applications.
I got it. So Office Live is then just built on top of that.
That's right. In many ways, we're a superset of what Windows SharePoint Services offers.
Cool. All right. Good. So, so what else? Are we going to look at it? Or
yeah. Why don't we take a look at what we have today that we've shipped in the beta, and then we'll talk through a little bit about what we're working on and that we hope to have in the very near future.
And then how we get it, like
how you get it, right? Okay. And I'll show the website piece of it, and then the application platform piece in this.
Cool.
In this
so you're at Office Live beta right now.
And this is the Office Live beta, live and available today. That is free during the beta time period. So OfficeLive.com, and you can come and get your free Essentials package for a limited time.
Great.
So we'll go into the page editing experience, and here I am. Here is this site that I've created thus far, and I'm going to go and change the design of the website. So we'll go into design, and I can be a computer sales shop, and we'll change the header experience. That one I was just using. And I'll change the color scheme to use brown. And the header is I sell computers. This is what I do well. I can change the overall font for the site design, the navigation experience, and so forth. So here I'll apply that theme to the website, and there it is. I've got this theme. Now what I'm going to do is go in and actually edit this page. So we've got content here. Homepage introduces your site. I sell computers on a mountain. And of course I'm doing that because I have a picture of a mountain.
Perfect. So this is like a whole page designer. This isn't something that's in Windows SharePoint Services. This is all Office Live stuff.
This is really all Office Live, and what we have here is we have, for some people to get started, we have a website tool. So it's kind of an easy site. It's limited in what you can do.
Right.
And then we have for partners is they can either activate front page,
okay,
or in the future we'll have them being able to use any kind of tool and then upload those files and host the website for them. So you really have two options: is to use this site building tool,
which is all web-based,
or
use front page,
or use the tool of your choice to build a site longer term.
And is that, what about, I've heard about SharePoint Designer, which is like in Office 2007, is that what you would use here? Or?
Yeah, so Office SharePoint Designer is positioned as the complementary tool to building SharePoint applications.
Right.
So in that case, for building our applications, we will be promoting SharePoint Designer in that case.
Okay.
In the future, Expression Web Designer is really the website design tool.
Right, okay.
And it's that tool that we will also support when it ships to work with our web hosting solution.
So you got a lot of options on how to customize your pages, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Cool.
Okay, so moving right along, and I'll just, I see I've misspelled computers there. Let me just correct that. And if you want to view the website, here's the website I just created. It's got a Contact Us page, an About Us page, a sitemap, and so forth. So there is the rich website I've created for my company.
Right.
And we also have some site analytics, so if you want to analyze the traffic that comes to your site, or understand which browsers people are using, or the search engines people are using to get to your website, we have an analytics tool that complements this hosting solution. Okay, now let's move on to the business applications.
Okay.
Okay?
Great.
So this is what we have shipped in this version, and we will continue to enhance the core set of applications, but also make these applications available as a starting point for developers to completely customize whatever experience for small businesses.
Okay.
You know, we will probably focus on a few apps around customer management, project management, document management, some things more horizontal.
Okay.
But the hope is that we find some developers that can build applications that are more customized and attuned to a small business's needs, because we're just not going to be able to scale and support something like that.
Right.
So the idea is to use this platform, use these applications as a starting point, and then build something rich on your own.
Right. Okay.
So here we have customer contact management. We've modeled this after Business Contact Manager, which is a feature that ships in Outlook.
Okay.
You'll see we have the accounts, the business contacts, the opportunities associated with each of the business contacts. Over here we have project management. So you can manage multiple projects and multiple tasks across projects.
Oh, wow, you even have like indicators, if it's on track.
That's
all that
right.
stuff.
That's
Okay.
right.
Cool.
That's right.
Wow.
We have
So this is very different than what a lot of people are thinking it is.
Yeah, really with SharePoint,
right?
you've got a good
Yeah.
starting point. We've got the calendar and the contacts and
Right.
items like that. And what we've done is just taken it to the next step and provided an experience to get small businesses started with managing their business.
Great.
And And as we talked about building an application, as I go here under Shared Sites, I can go into the Site Manager, and here's a list of technically subwebs for small businesses, the terms that are sitting well or shared sites or workspaces. But I can build a new workspace. Go into here, use one of our default applications as a starting point, or create a new site.
Like, what are some of those defaults? Oh, I'm sorry.
So if I back up here on the defaults, so business applications is all of those apps that I showed you.
Okay.
You can take those, customize those, move forward and build your own custom solution, export that template,
Right.
and then use that across multiple other customers.
Okay.
But we've given you a starting point if you want to start
Sure.
from one of these applications. These are subsets of what this business applications is a superset of.
Okay.
And
then those other sites are kind of familiar. Those are like what you'd see in Windows SharePoint Services, right?
these are the familiar
Okay.
WSS
All right.
based sites. So you can go into Team Site and I choose Next, and my site again, and creating a site, and now we've created this URL that has my my private site under HTTPS. So we have this in a behind port 443.
Okay. Good.
So as I go into the site here I get into the site, and then I'm back into normal SharePoint where I can really do whatever I want to do. I've got a starting point that is SharePoint, and I can take this and build an application from this point forward.
So this is all the Windows SharePoint Services stuff, like pictures and document libraries. And
That's
all
right.
That. Okay.
That's right.
Cool.
That's
And
right.
now this is out on the web with over SSL, right?
That's correct. That's
so
correct.
now, so who's this for now? Is this for like my employees to collaborate on stuff if I'm a small business?
Yeah.
Or is it to
Really,
external people? Or
we've
what?
almost had, the ideas around employees, but we've almost had more people with having a small number of employees, but then working with vendors or working with extranets. So for example, think about a realtor who is building or who is selling a home, and the kinds of things that they would do to schedule all the open houses and have all the marketing collateral. They build an extranet shared documents area for that business.
Okay.
You know, or think of an architect who's building or doing subcontractor work to build a remodel.
Okay.
And in that remodel, there might be a number of subcontractors involved. So some of their employees might be in there, but they can invite anybody on the internet and be a part of a extranet-like solution.
Yeah, it seems perfect for that. I mean, you could just share with anybody,
Yeah,
right? And it's
yeah.
secure, so.
Yeah, I mean, there's really, you know, infinite number of scenarios that we're starting to see.
What about for developers? I mean, so you kind of talked about people could use this as a way to host site for customers, but what if, when people hear live, or when I hear live, I start to think of like, what's Windows Live and gadgets and, you know, Web 2.0 and, right? So how does that relate with it? Am I jumping ahead, or
really, that's what we're building. I mean, it is Office Live, and we are on the foundation of what live services are all about.
Okay.
A lot of what we've done inside here integrate with a lot of the Windows Live services. You know, Windows Live ID is our authentication, and we're using the same networking infrastructure where Windows Live stores all the servers.
Okay.
You know, on the back end, we're using some of the shared storage mechanisms that Windows Live has. So at the foundation, we're sort of a combination between Windows SharePoint Services and Windows Live, and together that makes up a combined solution of Office Live.
Okay.
Now, and you talked about before, where is the Office in Office Live?
Right.
And if I show here, and I can even do, I guess you can really do this on one screen or two screens here, but let's see if I can get the mouse.
Oh, we're going to the other.
Well, we'll start on this screen here.
All right.
And so here I'll go into Business Contacts.
All right.
And then here is my contact list. So let's say I'm working on this from one location. And what I want to do is I want to use Outlook for this.
Okay.
So here I'm going to do link to Outlook.
Right.
I'm going to say yes. And then all of a sudden Outlook brings in the list of contacts. So we've got the 3 to 6 contacts in here by default.
Mm-hmm.
And so I might be working out of the Outlook experience. And in the current version, it is a read-only experience. In the version we're working on that we hope to ship in the near future, it's actually a two-way experience. So you can write here and read from here.
Okay.
And so what I'll do is, I'll just go over here on the other PC, and let's say I'm working from home on this machine.
Okay.
Say, and what I want to do is I'll go in. Here I am in Business Contacts. I'll add a new contact here, and I'll say my name, last name Jeans, first name Brian. Don't you forget that. And here's a contact I'm adding from Alabama, our default. Save and close that item. Okay, so we've added here the Brian Jeans account. And then what I'm going to do is just go over here into Office, click over here, and then refresh this page. It will send and receive. It says complete, and as I scroll through here, there's the Brian Jeans from Alabama. So with a lot of the applications, what you're able to do is you can do things in Outlook that will publish to our applications. You can do things in Excel that will actually read and let you model data that does queries out of these applications. Access also has a two-way sync, and you can have an application and use Access and do a report against the data, and the data is all updated live. So when when I do it from my Outlook, or let's say Tara does it from her home area and wants to use the web for that. Somebody else might be using Access in another part of the world, and this data is all synchronized using the service as sort of a virtual LAN.
So it's kind of like a SharePoint in the cloud kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like it enables an online capability for my Office apps.
That's right. And for developers, developers can offer a solution for a business, and they can host the server themselves. And it's real costly to host a server and to watch for viruses and make sure you have the right scale. And so what we're trying to do is provide a cost-effective platform where we'll try to be as cheap as we can. We'll offer SharePoint as a platform for as cheap as we can, so that developers can then build an app on top of that cheap platform and then sell the app, rather than getting into the business of actually monitoring and doing ops for a bunch of servers.
Yeah, it's so funny. You run into startups all the time. We're talking to friends or whatever, and they're like just getting started. They have a few people. They've got to handle email. They have to figure out how they're going to share documents. All those things. This seems like kind of a no-brainer.
That's right. That's right.
Just fire it up and get all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a win-win for everybody. I mean, partners, you've got a cheap operational environment for SharePoint on a platform that really is a superset of SharePoint. For the customers, again, we offer a way to hopefully provide an inexpensive way for them to actually have an application that hosted 24/7 monitoring and all the things that we in Microsoft are doing with the live services.
Sure, cool.
Yeah.
So what about the APIs? Like, where do I go to, a couple of things, like how do I develop stuff for this?
Yeah.
I mean,
really the best way to get started today is sign up for Office Live.
Okay. And how do I do that?
And you can go to officelive.com, which will redirect you to officelive.microsoft.com.
Okay.
And there are 2 to 3 offers there.
Okay.
I would encourage you to do the Essentials offer, which right now is free during the beta period.
Okay.
You get a domain name, a website, an email, and then the SharePoint. So you can see everything I've just showed you for free. And then what you should also do is learn Windows SharePoint Services 2007. And that is available for download, as I understand.
Yeah, the beta 2 is
the
out there.
Beta 2 is out, and so start using that, because everything we're doing and everything we're building for the next version is going to be based on the 2007 version of Windows SharePoint Services.
Okay.
So as you build applications on top of that, and as you learn the APIs that WSS 2007 supports, those will all work for the most part within Office Live.
And then there's just some additional things I need to learn about that you're offering.
That's right. That's right. And we'll have the Partners Conference is where we're going to be announcing and showing more of these things in the preliminary version of our Solution Developer Guide.
What's the partner conference? That's a Microsoft event?
The Microsoft Worldwide Partner Conference starting July 11th, I believe.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
You're
and
going to be talking more about the APIs and stuff then, or?
yeah, well,
Yeah.
we will be talking more about the APIs then and more of the developer scenarios. And actually, Tara, who is our lead program manager and
Okay.
really runs a lot of this area,
Right.
she can give you more of a sense of
Okay.
some of the things that we've got going and some of the things that you might see in the office.
Well, what I wanted to talk about was some of the things that, the feedback that we've received and the things we're really going to try and address in the next
Right.
version that I think will help both our end users and solution developers going forward. So you'll notice right off the bat when you get a chance to look at the applications is that there are a lot of them. There's at least 22 applications. So some of the feedback we've received is, hey, this is a little overwhelming, or there's a lot, where do I get started?
So what do you mean applications? Like the ones we were looking at over
Right.
here are small list, but there's
So
22 of them?
There's 22 of them.
Okay.
And the reason we did that is because you can imagine small businesses have a lot of needs.
Like
and we
what are,
wanted to
what
have
are
a
some
good
of those?
set.
I'm sorry to know. What
Yeah.
are some of those apps?
So we have the contact manager, so Brian showed you
Okay,
that,
right,
which
right.
is based off of the business contact manager in Outlook.
Okay.
We've got project manager, documents, calendaring, asset management, work hours, estimates. I mean, there's 22 of
Wow.
them.
And if I go to the thing Brian was talking about and sign up, I can see some of those, right?
All of them are there.
Okay.
Every single one
Cool.
of them. In addition, we actually have some pre-configured workspaces. So if you want to work with a vendor or with a customer, we've pre-configured those for you.
Oh, wow. So you can just get started.
That's right, just get started. That's the idea.
Cool.
So because we have so many applications, they're not necessarily relevant for every small business that signs up, but they're all very horizontal based in that
Mhm.
they're applicable
Mhm.
to really any market. So users, the feedback we got was that they want to choose which applications they see on a daily basis in the navigation. So we're trying to work out something to make that a lot easier. And also when we have these solution developers building solutions, they might be building something that's going to become a core piece of Office Live for that small business. So they want to make sure that that's very discoverable and easy to get to. So we're working on that. We're also looking at permissions. We've gotten a ton of feedback on the granularity of the permissions and the requirements around that. So we're really focusing on that as well.
How long has the beta been going on for? Getting all this
Since
feedback?
January
Oh, okay. So,
or
February.
February.
okay. Yeah, that's a while. 5 months or so, right?
Yeah, and we've
Okay.
received a lot of feedback, so we keep looking at
Great.
that on a daily basis. In
Okay.
addition, we have a blog and we have the communities, so we're actually interacting a lot with our users
Cool.
and getting
And
feedback.
where's the
that
blog?
way.
Is that on MSDN or how do
It's
how do you
actually
find
on Spaces.
that? Okay.
Yes. So.
I'll put a link to it in the
Yeah, that'd be great.
when we post this.
And
So,
also on the community message boards as well. That's a great place.
where are those? I mean,
Uh,
how do I find those?
We can provide a link to those.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, what community is it? Is a community just for Office Live? You mean?
Right.
That's out there? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we have
Good.
a couple of message boards specifically
Great.
for Office Live.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Cool.
So some of the other things we're doing, we're really looking at enhancing the dashboard. So the idea is that we want the dashboard to be the starting place for users when they log into the Office Live business applications, because they have the opportunity to configure it to be exactly what they need. So they log in, they see all their data at a glance, and they can just get in and get out and start working on their business.
And these would be the users would be able to do that?
Yeah, every
Okay.
single user that
Great.
has a membership has the ability to they have their own dashboard and they can configure it
Cool.
any way they want. So you can imagine if you're in a small business, there's a couple of different roles. So even if there's just 2 people in the business, you might have different roles. One's a salesperson, one's more in administration. You probably have applications that you care about, one over the other. So you
Sure.
can configure that yourself.
Oh, so you can just make it so you come in and you see just what you want to work on, you click on it and you're off to go.
I mean, we don't want people, you should be able to get in there and just see the data that's relevant to you. You shouldn't have to, do 20 clicks to figure
Sure.
out where all the data is. So,
Sure.
so there's an opportunity there. We're also going to spend a lot of time enhancing some of the applications that are the most popular, that we've gotten the most feedback about. And those are, contact manager, project manager, the document library, calendar. Those are
Right.
probably our top 4.
Right.
So we'll continue to work on those, and really good integration with Office. We'll continue to support integration with Office 2007 and 2003, and take advantage of all the really great features that are coming out. I mean, if you look at the improvements that have happened from the version 2003 to 2007, it's amazing.
Sure,
you know?
yeah.
Especially if you're looking at Access, Microsoft Access,
Okay.
allows you to do so many things when you do, syncing between Office Live applications and your Access client. So we'll be, giving some supporting documentation for that in our solution developer guide.
Oh, good, good. So there's a database then back there that I can put stuff in, or is that how it works?
So
Or
in
you said
Office
Access?
Live, it's list-based, so
Okay.
you are able to create custom lists, and we support, a ton of different data types. So one of the data types that we're also going to, that we support today and will continue to, is the lookup data type, and that's going to help you have integration between the different applications, which is really important. We don't want these islands of applications. They're all supposed to work together, so you don't have, redundant data anywhere.
So you mean you could make a list somewhere and then in another part you could do a lookup based on that list? Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
Or-
so you can imagine you have a calendar and you want to look up, say, milestones from your projects.
Yeah.
So you want to be able to show those project milestones within your calendar.
Wow.
So that's a good
Sure.
idea for integration.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Good. So what else do you want to talk about? And is there anything else that we need to cover that you guys would want to make sure everybody knew? We know how to get it, right?
Yeah,
we
I
can start
mean,
with the beta now.
Really, we're going to continue to build and improve this platform. And
Yeah, so there's a little bit more that I'd like to talk about
Yeah.
Okay.
for the developers.
Sure.
Right? So our platform is built on WSS, and
Right.
as we talked about the APIs in WSS, we want to make available in future versions of Office Live. In particular, it's going to be the web services and,
Okay.
and front page RPCs that WSS exposes.
Okay.
The native APIs in WSS that you would run on the same server where WSS is installed are not going to be exposed.
Okay, but I get the web services APIs that
Right.
Windows SharePoint Services has, right? Okay.
Right, right.
Cool.
So if you're going to call into those APIs, what you'll need to do first is authenticate. And since our system is built on top of Windows Live ID, what you'll have to do is call into their APIs to authenticate.
And then Windows Live ID, I heard you guys mention that a couple times. Is that the info card stuff, or is that different? What is Oh, that's what Passport is becoming.
Right, right.
Okay.
It's really the next version of Passport.
Okay.
They're going to expose their new APIs for doing logins in the coming months.
Got it. Okay.
There was an announcement last week.
Right, I saw that.
about
Yeah,
how
and the
that-
new
that's gonna
Messenger
work.
just came out as well. that
Exactly.
based-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
So if you use those APIs to authenticate, then call into the WSS APIs, it enables a number of cool scenarios. So for example, as an ISV, I could write a point of sale application that's a Win32 application that runs on a local machine.
Sure.
But stores like the customer information up in the cloud in Office Live, right?
Oh wow.
It's,
Yeah.
it's kind of an interesting scenario.
And that's all secure with SSL, as we talked about earlier, right? So it's
Exactly.
a good, yeah.
And all that data is going to be backed up,
Sure.
by Office Live. And
Right.
It's going to be a robust scenario.
Right.
And another type of application that we would want to support is more of the Web 2.0 scenarios.
Yeah, let's hear about that. That's what I want.
So, what the idea is I could build a mashup application. Right?
Okay.
So I can pull the data out of Office Live. Say I've got a bunch of contacts, and I can combine that with data in Windows Live Local, right? And map out on a map where all the contacts.
Oh, cool.
All-
And then
all-
could I
all
put
their
that little?
addresses.
Is it a gadget or a web part or something? I could put that in my app on Office Live, or
We don't have one today, but it's
Yeah.
a great opportunity, I think, for
Yeah,
one of our
sure.
developers.
But I mean, I have the capability to do that as a developer.
Exactly.
I could make a mashup like that and have that show up in my Office Live.
Those are exactly the kind of
Yeah.
scenarios
Okay.
that we want to
Cool. That's great. Speaking of integration, what about like any other small business apps? I mean, are there any other ones that? I mean, imagine they're web service APIs, but are there any integration scenarios you guys are thinking of?
Well, lots and lots of small business applications today are written on top of Access, right?
Okay.
And in Office 2007, a lot of attention has been paid to, instead of storing all that data from the Access application in a local database, instead persisting it all up in SharePoint.
Okay.
So it should be relatively straightforward for many small business applications that are currently built on top of built on top of Access to instead target Office Live. I think there's lots
Right.
of scenarios there.
What about like forms and stuff? Can I do that sort of app? Like I'm thinking of an Access, application with a form that populates a database and master details and that kind of. Can I do that?
Absolutely. Those.
Okay.
It'll be really straightforward to be able to access application form apps with Office Server as a backend.
Okay.
And you can say the same thing about Excel applications and,
Okay.
and
Right.
really the same thing about InfoPath applications.
Oh, good. So
We
I
wanna
could
make
do
it
an-
really simple to build InfoPath apps that persist out in the cloud.
beautiful.
Word applications would be another one. Yeah.
Yep.
Right. Cool. So what? Now this stuff's all in the SDK then that you or is what did you call
It'll
it?
be available in the developer's guide, which
Okay.
we're having a beta version release at the Microsoft World Partner Conference.
Okay, so that's coming out at and that's going to be something that everyone can look at and get an idea. I mean, today they can start with the beta, right?
The key thing is you really need to start with the Windows SharePoint Services 2007
Okay.
beta.
Right. Look at those web service APIs, see what's there.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you're 3/4 of the way there
Yeah.
or so.
Yeah.
So that's the starting point. And from there, we'll have a preview at some point for, a select group of people to be able to look at Office Live. We also have a, solution developer program that we're coming out with. So
Okay.
we'll have lots of great information and interaction there with people who want to become Office Live developers.
Right. Right. So one last question. So because you're based on the Windows SharePoint Services stuff, that means when 2007 comes out, you'll be able to do blog, wiki, RSS, and all those kind of things too, right?
Those are some of the great features that come with Windows SharePoint Services, and we know they're very popular, so we'll definitely look at that and
Okay.
see if that's something that our audience would be interested in as well.
Okay. Good. So anything else before we wrap up?
Yeah, really, the hope is that start now. We've got Office Live again available for free, so you go out there, you get the essential SKU on officelive.microsoft.com, and try it out. Try that out. Try out WSSv3, but don't just try it out as a platform. Try it out as actually something that might run your business. Try running your main website or even one of your websites on this area. Try to build some of these applications and maybe even some of your neighbors. You might even recommend
Tell your neighbors,
for your neighbor
tell your
businesses
friends.
to start online. But it's, it is a solution available now, and while it's beta, it is shipping code. So I do again encourage people to try this out now, and really for the future, it's a win-win for everybody. Hopefully, it's for the partners. It's an inexpensive platform for people to build applications. For customers, they now have a way to have the rich website, domain, email, applications, shared experience. And then for Microsoft is just providing this end-to-end solution in collaboration with partners to customers.
Great. I'll check it out.
All right,
Thanks.
thank you. Yeah.